my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing.
Yeah, welcome everyone again. It's another night, man. It's another evening. It's another day of Mikey Live. How are you doing now? I want to say thank you for joining us again, man. This is News Discussed, Not Told. And we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the Mikey. So brace yourself. It's always good that we are here, man. I mean, for all the people who are viewing these program for the first time, we want you to know that we are happy to have you with us. We want you to know how much of a pleasure it is just to have you here. All right, folks. Now this is News Discussed, Not Told. Get it right. We ain't telling you nothing. We're talking with you. We're having a conversation. Yes. So welcome to the program. Now here's what's making the headlines. NAWASA issues service interruption notice as well. More communities to be affected by valve regulations. We're going to talk about that. GFA executive members not backing down. You can get a scholarship to study in China. Yes, you. So we'll tell you how. Also, 4 maternal deaths in Guyana in 6 weeks, and we'll tell you what they're doing about that. Rival rallies held in Venezuela as political crisis continues there. This issue may be closer to home than you'd imagine. So we're going to talk about that and more on tonight's Mikey Live program. People, you're getting the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Housekeeping matters. It is important that you share the program on your wall. For those of you who are on Facebook, you see, once you do that, other people get to view the program via your share, all right? And it ensures that the program remains free for everyone to view, all right? So share the program for those of you who are on Facebook. We want to say welcome as well to the folks tuned in on WPG10, that's cable channels 10 and 11, 10 standard definition, 11 high definition. Welcome to the folks on YouTube. We also would like to welcome you to tonight's program. Now, folks, now that you're aware of the headlines, we'd also like to let you know that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and Colombian Emeralds International and WPG10. We ask that you brace yourself, because when we return, it will be real news in Olia Lili Lolo. So Olia, hold on tight, don't blink, because you may just miss the action. We'll be back.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Hey man, what happened to you?
Boy, cancer one. Cancer got with the next one.
Cancer? Who is cancer? And who you go with?
Who is cancer? Boy, you don't live in it. Boy, cancer is a disease caused by too much abnormal cells in a part in the body. That cancer is a real killer.
Yeah, cancer should be in prison. But by the way, who cancer kill?
Mr. Jella last son.
You mean Jackson?
Oh.
And he was so young and never thought cancer does kill young people so.
But cancer is no respect of age, race, gender, nothing.
You're telling me? I hear it have over 25 different types of cancer.
Like, cancer then style now? Cancer more popular than them damagings and them?
And from what I research, early detection, exercise, and healthy eating is your best chance of fighting against this terrible disease.
Let's intensify our fight against cancer. Regular screening, constant exercising, and healthy eating habits are the key to winning the battle against cancer.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, so thank you again and welcome to everyone who's just joining us on tonight's program. This is another episode of Mikey Live. 5 school counselors to attend drug control courses. Now, the Drug Control Secretariat of the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs hereby informs the public that 5 counselors from secondary schools have been selected to participate in 2 online training courses in drug control being offered by the cooperation program between Latin America, the Caribbean, and the European Union on drug policies. All right, that's the co-plan. Now, the persons attending the various courses are as follows. Course 2, which is Comprehensive and Integrated Drug-Related Socio-Sanitary Systems and Primary Care, Nicole Johnson James. All right, that's counselor at the Anglican High School. And course 4, which is Comprehensive Approach to Prevent and Reduce Adverse Consequences of Drug Use in Highly Vulnerable Populations, a Public Health Strategy. Sally Charles Palmer, counselor at McDonald's College. Laurel Caton George, counselor at the Grenada Christian Academy. Mary Alma Dubois Calise, counselor, St. Rose Modern Secondary School. And Christopher Belfon, counselor at the Grenada Boys Secondary School. Online training will commence on March 4th, 2019. The duration of the training is 6 months. All right, and you can find more information on this on our website, mikeylive.com. The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs also would like to inform the public that the People's Republic of China, in collaboration with the government of Grenada, is offering full scholarships to the Grenadian nationals to pursue undergraduate studies, master's programs and doctoral programs for the academic year 2019 to 2020. Now, these scholarships cover tuition, accommodation, learning material, living allowances, health insurance, and a one-off settlement allowance and one round-trip ticket. So you would want to know what you will need to do, or what are the requirements, you know, for you to be eligible. Now, you should be a graduate from a high school or college. Now, candidates must be under the age of 25 for the undergraduate degree program, 35. All right. Now, here's what. When applying for a master's program, and under 40 when applying for the doctoral programs. Also, candidates must be willing to study in China for the duration of the course. The course of study will be taught in the Chinese language after having learned the language for at least 1 year. Candidates should be physically fit to fulfill the obligations of the course and will need to complete a medical form. Candidates must be citizens of Grenada and be in good health. That's it. That's it. Now, there are other things like your passport things and things like you had to do, but that's small thing. That's it. You understand? Anyway, let me sign up. All right, let's go. The following information is from the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA. All right. Now, there will be service interruption from Paddock through to the Limes and surrounding communities. Yes? Now, here's what. The National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, advises consumers in Paddock, Dixie, Cafe, through to the Limes, Grandans, and surrounding communities in the parish of St. George that due to system maintenance, you will experience an interruption in your supply from 8 p.m. tonight. So that has already started. And it will go to 6 a.m. on Wednesday, February 13, 2019. Consumers, please also be advised that although the system will be reopened at 6 a.m., you, especially those who are in elevated areas, may receive your supply within 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. Now, the authority apologizes, they say, for any inconveniences caused and would like to thank you for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable supply. Now, the next thing that we need to tell all you about, boy, NAWASA says that it has been forced to institute valve regulation schedules for the Mardi Gras and Annandale water systems. You know, Annandale is the big fella that serves the south of the island, where there's a high concentration of people. But anyway, they say that they have also amended the schedule for less avocat. We're going to tell you about that. All right. We're going to share the thing with you. They say that other systems and areas may be added to the list. And so they are continuing to implore on persons the need to have water stored to last a minimum of 3 days, which is 35 gallons of water per person per day. People, the fact that NAWASA continues to speak of this tells you how serious the situation is. Now, Annandale is a system they don't want to mess with, but they say they have been forced to do that. Now, let's talk about Annandale and the schedule. Okay? The affected areas for now would be Calist and Point Celine. Okay? Now your daytime supply is available daily 5 p.m. Tuesday to 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And here's what. On Thursday, 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Friday. And that's for now. They say, please be advised that the information provided is based on the current water levels and it is expected to change without prior notice depending on the availability of the supply. They say that they continue to monitor the water system and its capacity to meet the demands and will keep the affected customers or consumers fully aware of their supply status as information becomes available. You understand? So that's for the Annandale system. And then we have the Mardi Gras system that is also affected. Now, Mardi Gras system serves Montparnasse from Joe John to Hills of Eyes. All right. Now that area, your daytime supply is available daily, Monday and Friday. You understand what's going on there? Monday and Friday. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now the Coconut, Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The thing Dread, you understand? And then we have the Les Avocats system, okay? And here is the places that will be affected, and your supply is available daily for Laborie, Hopeville, St. Paul's, and Mount Airy, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Montparnasse, the Bocas, Creighton, Mondelez, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Holders Hill, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's when all getting water, you know. Richmond Hill, Montgelou, and surrounding areas, daily, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's when all go. And then we have Beirut, Minaka, Windsor Forest, Apsley, Pedmota, Laura, and Belle Plaine, daily, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Oh yeah, they think serious. I'm making it up. I'm making it up. Now they say this is official information from NAWASA. You understand? Alright? People, we ain't getting rain, no. And when we get like a drizzle landing, they drizzle. I don't understand this. So they drizzle doing like if, you know, I mean, you have to pay tax for every drop, you know. I tell you now, I ain't making it up. They drizzle behaving like if you had to pay tax. So it's 1-1 and thing like that. You understand? You're standing up, one man getting wet over there and another man dry. I ain't making it up. Oh yeah. The Grenada Football Association Executive Committee, they ain't backing down some of the members, boy. They decided through a meeting held yesterday that they are going to continue with the business. You know? So they are sticking to the decision of the provisional suspension of President Cheney Joseph. So the saga continues, people. But the governing body is speaking in a different language. We're talking about the FIFA now. The head of the whole business. We're going to talk about FIFA. Get a letter. Don't ask me how I get my letter. Hold on. So there was a motion set forward. And there was a meeting last night. So it was about whether or not Cheney should be reinstated. 9 persons reportedly attended the meeting, you know. According to reports, 5 voted against the motion to have him reinstated, while 4 voted in favor. You understand? So then the suspension is upheld and it continues. You understand? So earlier, we don't know what's going on, but they're having a meeting tomorrow. In fact, a press conference. the 5 executive members of the Grenada Football Association that voted in favor of the provisional dismissal of Chenny Joseph, the president of the GFA, pending an investigation, will be having a press conference tomorrow, God's willing. And so we go into the business. We go in there to see how going on because we have to report the business to you. You understand? Nonetheless, we get a letter, boy. You know what I mean? A little board give me a letter that came from FIFA. You understand? In terms of their sentiments and so on regarding the current issue. It was addressed to the General Secretary, Ms. Solia. In that letter, FIFA says that we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 28 January 2019 related to the provisional dismissal of the president of the Grenada Football Association, the GFA, the contents of which we received our full attention. In this context, we understand that the GFA Executive Committee decided to conduct an inquiry into the situation at hand. However, we are also aware that following the meeting of the GFA Executive Committee on the 26th of January 2018, a judgment on the case of, quote, the Commissioner of Police versus Thaddeus Chenny Joseph, unquote, was sent to the GFA on the 1st of February 2019, and that for both charges, no conviction is to be recorded against the name of the defendant. Now, based on the judgment that was issued to conclude the court matter at hand, FIFA deems that the internal inquiry does not have a mandate to fulfill anymore, given that the charges against the GFA president are not indictable offenses in the sense of Article 37, Part 1 of the GFA statutes, and therefore the provisional suspension of the GFA president is without grounds. We thank you for taking note of the above. Yours faithfully, FIFA. Let me leave that talk there. We're moving on. Find me page. Next page. How we looking for time? So we are going to the meeting and see what really going on in the business. You know, it's also about the suspense, the action, and the drama. And we don't want a better sport. Now the next story that we have to tell you about, boy, Senator Nolan Cox. You know what I mean? Yeah, boy. They had like a press conference. In 2018, I think. Hold on. They had like a press conference today, and they was talking about the certain matters and things. Alright. They spoke about the cricket happening in Grenada too, and they said that they really wish for the presence of every Grenadian at the 2 international one-day matches between West Indies and England. Now, matches will be on Monday 25th and Wednesday 27th of February at the National Stadium. Now, both days in which the minister wants every Grenadian to get the opportunity to partake and to support our original team. And he's saying that the ticket sales are going really good so far. Now, he outlined a list of events for the week, including a team reception and cocktail on Saturday evening, the Rally Round the West Indies concert on Sunday, and a Taste of Spice extravaganza on Tuesday. Now, this is to enable the visitors to partake and share in the Grenadian experience. And the minister wants to ensure that we give our visitors a wonderful experience in regards to the cricket. Now, this will be the first time the island hosts cricket since 2015. Well, that magnitude. They are saying they expect a minimum of 3,000 spectators for the matches. And they're saying that will be good for the Grenadian economy. You understand? So all the we pretty, man. You understand? Big up. I telling all you, I speaking it, whether it's NMP, NDC, GOLP, PNM. at some point in time before we die, the man on your screen will become the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. As speaking it into the universe, whether NMP, NDC, PNM, a new party, or anything like that, okay? Good. Let me leave that talk there. We're moving on. How we looking for time? Somebody say yes. Let me go. Right. I don't know politics, you know. I don't know politics. Don't get me tied up with all the business, you know. I don't know politics. And I mean, I just call a spade a spade. We don't know horse in the race. Big up to them people from Carriacou. All you. We'll come back to Carriacou in a minute because we have to tell all about something that happened in Carriacou. But here, 4 maternal deaths in Guyana in 6 weeks. And the authorities there are taking it real serious, boy. You know, because, I mean, that's cause for concern. I mean, 4? You understand? So we were monitoring like a situation where it is, boy. I find all the time me up, you know. Yeah, oh, I didn't see me thing, but hold on. God. Anyway, we might have to come back to that. I tell all to say yes, you know. Don't play all the thing there, you know. Don't play all the stuff with me there, you know. We tying up, you know. Alright, so it look like we gotta come back to that story because I ain't seen me business, you know what I mean? Folks, I have to do all the things for myself, you know what I mean? I cook, bottle washer and everything, you know, in one, you know. Son? Yes, I have not seen that report, so I may have to come back to that report a little bit later on, alright? About the deaths in Guyana. So let's move on, alright? Now, in Venezuela, boy, things are not getting better in Venezuela. As political tensions continue to escalate. You understand, people? Now, the both parties, they had rallies and things, right? You understand? So, Venezuela's opposition supporters rallied nationwide today, now, to keep the heat on embattled President Nicolas Maduro and to demand he allow humanitarian aid into the country where food and medicine shortages are widespread. Now, government supporters also went out to the streets in Caracas denouncing foreign intervention in the country. Now, speaking at a rally in Caracas, US-backed opposition leader Juan Guaido announced that humanitarian aid will enter Venezuela on February 23rd, and he asked the military forces to let it in. Now, the rallies took place nearly 3 weeks to the day that Guaido invoked a constitutional provision to declare himself Venezuela's interim president, arguing that Maduro re-election last year was a sham. Now, opposition supporters at the rally said that they are eager to see a change in the country. People, that situation might be closer to home than you would even want to imagine. I'll tell you this, right? I have friends that I know whose parents, all right, whose parents live in Venezuela. Grenadian people. Just like Trinidad, we have a lot of Grenadians who live in Venezuela. Yeah? Because they play small. Very small. And so we have to start looking at this as, you know, our business. We cannot sit down and say, oh, it's not happening here. What happens if there is military activity, God forbid, in Venezuela? Do you know that everyone in the region will have to state? You know, they have to show, they have to declare their hand. On whose side are you? You understand? This thing has the potential to get out of hand. And so it is in our interest to see the situation in Venezuela fix, and not just fix, you know, as soon as possible. We're moving on. How are we looking for time, people? Yes, let's go.
The renewed wave.
Okay, we're done with that one. Let's go again. Oh yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah, well, we're looking good for time. We're looking good. The next story that we have to tell all about, boy. England defeated West Indies. I don't want to laugh, eh? We needed that to happen. You know, they say sometimes you have to stoop to conquer, so we stooped for England to win a match. England defeated West Indies by 232 runs with a day to spare in the third and final test in St. Lucia today. You know, they were faced with a huge target of 485. West Indies were dismissed for 252. You understand? But a small thing. Now, despite the win by England, they lost the 3-match series 2-1 after West Indies won the first 2 matches in Barbados and Antigua quite convincingly. This is England's second test win in the Caribbean since 2004. We are moving on. Alright, I told earlier that we wanted to take a little trip to Carriacou for a few seconds. Let's do that right now. We have to tell all what's going on the sister island, boy. A number of persons were recognized for contributions made in a variety of sectors, in various sectors out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Understand? And we want to share that story with you. Here is a special report by KOMG Productions.
The awards were presented in the areas of health, fishing, culture, among others. Rolda Kwamina, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, delivered remarks at the ceremony.
And so we want to really commend you for working not for yourself only, but your community, your island, and your country by extension. Because whatever you do impacted many lives, not only yours, not only your family, but many lives. And so we are thankful that you are able to find a way that you can serve your community. We are all called upon to serve. And giving service is not to look for any reward, because our reward is in heaven, as the Bible tells us. But the Bible also says, by the sweat of our brow we shall eat bread. And I know the service that you've given was to ensure that you and your family can be fed. But in doing so, you fed others by way of tangible or just by doing something that others can benefit from.
The awardees are John Sentile for his long-standing service in education, Roshan Lendo, top CSEC performer, Bernadette Lendo Sylvester, public service, Edwin Duncan, agriculture, Albert Mitchell, fishing, PC 864 Dave George, policing, Calvin Patrice, culture, Carlon Joseph, telecommunications, Winston John, business entrepreneurship, Julian Kelly, sports, and Annette Emmons, health. The award ceremony was part of activities to celebrate the country's 45th anniversary of independence. It was organized by the Carriacou and Petit Martinique Independence Celebrations Committee.
Okay, folks, thank you for that. Now, the next story that we have to tell all about, boy. Homicides happen all over the world. Killings and so on we're talking about. And what you find happening is that, okay, so somebody's killed, the deceased is buried, the killer goes to jail. What happens to the families? Often, they are left to handle the pain, the horror, and everything else that comes with it on their own. And this is a situation that exists everywhere. But the people in St. Lucia is attempting to get something done about it. So we have a family member who had, some 5 years ago, her brother killed. Speaking out about this, and I've decided to do this because in some degree, ways more than one, it applies to us here as well. Check this out.
The sister of a homicide victim is calling on the authorities to provide support services to help families and loved ones cope with loss. Tuesday, February 12, 2019 marks 5 years since Shaka Esnad lost her brother, 25-year-old Daniel Esnad, to a brutal stabbing. Daniel was stabbed in an altercation at a party in Schwozel in 2014 and died 2 weeks later after major surgery. Shaka says though time has gone by, the pain is still fresh.
5 years, and 5 years still feels like yesterday. It is very painful. Just thinking of everything, the pain is still there, the hurt is so much. It is so painful, yet still some people see their loved ones die right there before their eyes. And sometimes I just imagine, how do those people even cope with life? How do they go through these situations? And I believe enough isn't being done in terms of there's supposed to be services where people are being offered counseling, or put it over on the news somewhere where people know they could get help. I personally had to seek for help for myself. The hurt, the pain, the rage, the anger. I would go to deliverance services, which helps a lot. But this type of pain, it never goes away.
Daniel reportedly died from a punctured lung, damaged diaphragm, and internal bleeding. Shaka believes that proper health care could have saved his life.
He was just stitched up and said, "You have nothing, go home," when he had many damaged organs inside. To date, those who stabbed my brother, and he was given many death threats before that, they are responsible, and the hospital is still equally responsible. I say that from the bottom of my heart, because I know they didn't treat him right. And he was a human being. He deserved at least a painkiller. No matter people's color, their race, their class, hospital, healthcare facilities have to treat everybody fair and treat them equal.
Shaka says fighting crime should be everybody's business and not just the police. She is making a special plea to churches and government officials to speak out against crime.
Crime does not hurt the immediate family, but it hurts an entire community, an entire nation. And St. Lucia is a hurting nation. Many people are hurting during the day. They're fine when they go to bed. Their heart is are aching, they're crying, they don't know how to cope with the pain of losing loved ones. And so it affects everybody. So please, St. Lucia, put down the guns, put down the knives, put down the weapons. And I believe too much is left up to the police to be done. Everything is the police. The churches remain silent while people are being murdered every day and everywhere. The ministers, if it happens in your district, you're supposed to come out and speak. Don't just leave it up to the police to say the police has to fight crime and everybody adding the pressure to the police.
The sister of Daniel Esnad is also urging St. Lucians to be more proactive in local murder cases.
When the Botham case came out, everybody, they were speaking about it so much, which I support. The rights of the family, supporting the family, but it happened in the United States, but it happens here every day, and everybody remains silent. If you could have been so much, you spoke so much about the Botham case, something that happened in America, when it happens right there in our nation and it affects us all, everybody need to have that same passion.
Shaka Esnad has a special message for the youngsters. Think before they act. She says life is to be enjoyed and not to be spent behind bars. 2 people have been arrested in connection with Daniel Esnad's death. The court case has been adjourned and the trial has yet to start. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Gina. I mean, and it applies here as well. It applies here as well. A lot of the families are left to their own devices, and so when persons within their family dies, you know, and so I think that it is something that we should really take a look into. Okay, guys? All right, folks, how are we looking for time? Now, the next thing that we have to tell all you, boy, a scuffle with mentally unsound man triggers a lockdown at a primary school in St. Lucia. That is another interesting story that we have to tell all you about. All right, so let's go again right into that story.
He's holding my hand. I pushed him and give him that pin. I said no.
And he took Alexandra Officials at the Camille Henry Primary School reportedly stepped up security measures after one parent was allegedly attacked outside the school compound on the morning of February 12th. Camille Henry Primary School sources told News Force the unidentified male suspect attempted to drive off in a motor vehicle which was parked outside the school compound. He was quickly confronted by a parent and other bystanders who reportedly had to break open the car window to get him out of the vehicle. A struggle to subdue the suspect ensued in the presence of several young students and teachers. Outnumbered and overpowered, the suspect was held until police arrived on the scene. He was detained and taken to Central Police Station for questioning. Witnesses say the suspect was allegedly armed and made threats to harm students. Education Ministry and Camille Henry School officials were not available for comment. Police have also not issued a statement on the incident. Classes went ahead as normal. However, access points to the school remain closed or monitored over the course of the day. No students or teachers were reportedly injured. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Rihani, for that report. All right, guys. And folks, here's what we're going to do right now. We are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we've got for you the National Report. Stay tuned.
We listened to what you had to say and turn up the old rules. Because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
We mean business and we talk business.
I wanted to go back to when it started.
And we let women in business tell their own stories and inspire others.
But I'm very excited about 2019.
I am Abigail Long, and join me right here for Abby's Power Lunch.
You never looked at a piece of paper. This was just a beautiful conversation.
We talk to women of the Caribbean who make things happen.
I know, let's not just preach it, let's practice it, and it starts from household.
Alrighty, thank you very much, guys. And so now we introduce to you the National Report.
St. Lucian delegation on study tour examining Grenada's seed program and juvenile justice system. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, February 12th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada is extending a hand of partnership to the Ministry of Social Justice in St. Lucia in its quest to adopt components of the island's Support for Education, Empowerment Development or SEED program. A visiting delegation, which includes the Minister for Social Justice, Mr. Leonard Montoute, and Permanent Secretary, Ms. Velda Joseph, is currently on island to gain more insight into Grenada's social services programs, including the SEED and the juvenile justice system. Social Development Minister, the Honorable Delma Thomas, told the delegation that the journey towards improving and restoring social services will at times be challenging. However, Grenada will be supportive in every possible way to help bring benefits and hope for the vulnerable.
We will be extending a hand of partnership to our St. Lucian colleagues in the quest to embark on these two very critical reforms. We pledge unreservedly to render whatever assistance and guidance required for successful implementation of those two reforms. As I said to you earlier on, it will be new for your country, and therefore you will have some challenges.
She says Grenada is in a good place with programs that are being sought by several OECS countries and organizations.
Not only St. Lucia is looking to us, but there are many other OECS countries. So St. Lucia is the first in a number of countries line up to come to Grenada to understudy our SEED program. We have Antigua and a number of other countries, the OECS. In fact, even the World Bank has invited us on a number of initiatives abroad to speak to what is happening in Grenada as it relates to our social protection reform program. So we are in a good place, working to serve the most vulnerable persons among us. You know, I'm happy to be the minister with responsibility for social development, housing and community development at this time, whereby in the region and in the world we are looked at as a model.
St. Lucia's Social Services Minister, Mr. Leonard Montoud, says following the study tour in Grenada, legislation will be reformed and manuals and policies will be drafted to get the process started.
Within the next couple of years, that we can make some serious strides in ensuring that we address some of the problems that we are now facing. And of course, it is a work in progress. I know that we require quite a lot of resources that has to be expended in terms of putting the structures in place. But we are hoping that as we move forward with the changes in our legislation, with the adoption of new approaches, new projects, we will find the resources necessary to ensure that we expedite the process.
The Ministry of Sports says the upcoming two one-day internationals between the Windies and England on February 25th and 27th will boost the local economy. More than 3,000 cricket lovers are expected in Grenada to support the games between the West Indies and England as part of the biggest England tour of the Caribbean in the last 10 years. Tickets were available online for the 2019 games since November 2018, and Minister for Sports, Senator Nolan Cox, says the sale speaks volumes to the level of support the teams will have on both days.
Sales are going pretty fine. I trust that everybody here has already purchased their ticket because or probably as the media people, I know you guys have a free pass. Nonetheless, we want to encourage every Grenadian get an opportunity to partake and to go out and support our regional team. We have cricket on Monday the 25th and Wednesday the 27th. So we want to express that.
A second inspection of the field will be done soon to ensure it is at the required standard for the games.
Yesterday we had a visit with the team. The National Organizing Committee, we had a visit throughout the walkthrough to the stadium yesterday to ensure that all structures are in place. And we have a final inspection coming up, I believe, if not on the weekend, but early next week from Cricket West Indies. They'll be coming to do their walkthrough to ensure that everything is in place as well. We believe that it's going to be an exciting 2-day of cricket. Well, let's say 3 days experience in Grenada. We understand that there is a particular cruise ship that is following the cricket games throughout the island, and they will be here too as well. We'll have some more information on that for the media. We understand that a minimum of 3,000 spectators should be here in Grenada, and so we see this as very good for our local economy.
Following their arrival on Saturday, February 23rd, the team will get to enjoy good sportsmanship and all that the island has to offer.
The team arrives on Saturday, the 23rd. On the evening of that Saturday, we are planning a reception. We have a reception and cocktail schedule for the team and visiting persons. at Sandals La Source. Details on the time will be given later. On Sunday, there is the Rally Around the Rest in this concert at Spice Basket, which we are partnering together with GTE and a private promoter to have this concert. I think that we have David Rodder, who's going to be featured artist at that, along with other local artists at that concert. On Monday would be our first game. On a Tuesday, which is a rest day, we're going to have Taste of Spice extravaganza on the Carnage, where our local cuisine, food, drink, local music products will be on display for our visitors to partake in, to share and be part of the Grenadian experience.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Big business don't participate.
Continuing the news, Grenada is once again reaping economic benefits through its partnership with the people of Japan. On Tuesday, a mini asphalt paver was handed over to the Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister for Infrastructure Development, to be used for ongoing maintenance work on the nation's roads. The donation was made possible by the Government of Japan under the Japanese Grant Aid for Economic Development. With the donation of the equipment, training will also be provided. Representative Mr. Satoshi Izawa spoke of the contribution made and the cost of the equipment.
We are the supplier of the old equipment, of the granted equipment to the Grenada on behalf of Japan International Cooperation System, which is the consultant of this project. The amount of the grant is 25 million Japanese yen, including this mini asphalt paver, as well as oil fence, oil skimmer, and high pressure washer, and the watering pump. Those other items are provided to the other department, but this one is the biggest equipment for us.
Infrastructure Development Minister Gregory Bowen commended Japan for the donation and hinted that his government has already begun discussions for a mobile asphalt plant. He urged those who will be part of the training for use of the equipment to make the best of the opportunity.
I encourage you to listen carefully and to do all that is necessary to ensure that we utilize and make good use of what the people, the taxpayers of Japan, are given to us. I've discussed with them, and we have to go through the next step, but now we know the direct contact. And the biggest point so far you're concerned about is an asphalt plant, isn't that so? Yes. So we're working on all fronts with respect to this. We're working on all fronts. By going through the government of Japan, it will take some time. But if we can work a combination of both, you know, from ourselves, we help ourselves and we get help from our friends, then we'll be able to get all the necessary equipment. And we have discussed it. It must be a mobile plant, but big enough to supply us. So we could move it from here, we could move it to St. Andrew, we could move it to Paddock, and we will not be moving it every day, maybe every 2 years. As the road projects, you know, get on stream. And right now we have, what, the St. Patrick's Road on stream, and we cannot wait for that plant. Now we have the contact. We can see what can be done. So I encourage you to participate in the training, learn, but most importantly, to put what you learned into practice and to really give back to the people what we are giving to you, to all of us. And we want to show that Japan those persons who have used the taxpayers' money to help us, we want to show them that we appreciate the donation that they make to us.
Minister Boyne says training on effective equipment use will enhance the quality of work done by the employees.
The training is of critical importance. That's why we're here this morning. And only a few weeks ago, we sat at management meeting and we decided that training must be critical. We have been doing training in the ministry, but we must step it up. In other words, our customers, the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, must be comfortable with the work that we are doing. I know that some of us are not happy when we quote-unquote patch or bit of road, asphalt road. Yes, and the public will say this is a hump here and that is not done properly, etc. So the equipment, together with the training, will help us to make what we do last, in the sense that when we put on a bit of regulation and we've done our holes, patching properly, then it will last.
And finally, the Smart Agriculture Enterprise Project will soon sign a Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Ministry of Climate Resilience, and the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs. The signing will take place on Monday, February 18th at the Ministry of Finance Conference Room. SAEP is a 6-year program from 2018 to 2024, funded by the Government of Grenada, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and the Caribbean Development Bank. The development goal of the program is to contribute to the reduction of poverty and vulnerability of men and women in rural communities in the Tri-Island states. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Leslie Ann, boy. Woo. You know, and those of you who are part of the National Report, those of you who produced the National Report, big up my bedrin Gary, big up your whole self bedrin, you know what I mean? Anyway, folks, what we have for you is the generic weather, all right? Because I have not been able to actually get the direct weather. In fact, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna reserve that. We're gonna hold back on that. All right, guys. I've been trying to see if I could get the weather directly from the Met Office. I do get it sometimes, not consistently. So I've been sending emails and so to see if I could at least have that rectified, you know, for us, because it's an important segment of our program. Okay. But what I can tell you is that the winds, last time I checked, easterly to east-southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times, and seas moderate with waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters. And there's a small craft advisory that's in effect. All right, that's about the latest information that I had. By the way, sun is expected to rise tomorrow at around 6:31 a.m. All right, so that's all that I have in terms of the weather for you guys today. Okay, guys, so what else? Oh, let me just big up some of Walia before I go. All right, let's say hello to Sally, Ezra, Esther, Clotilda, Spice Girl, Hazel, Nikki, Asha. Asha says the generic works fine. Okay. Rose, Rolanda, Angel, Della, Suzette, Wayne, Josephine, Rayburn, Dora, Peter, Zaka, Helen, Irma, Charmaine, Melly, Terry, Wayne, Rochelle, Esther, Mikey, I went and I helped in the fundraiser. I was late yesterday. All right, Esther, thanks. Sugar Baby, all right, and Deslin and everyone else, man, who's Colette is there with us as well. All right, everyone else who's part of the program, big up all the whole self, all right, guys. Camille and Shanta, Deborah. Okay, I said Eunice, right? And Patsy. I see you guys there as well, all right? Good. Tell me about Snow. Sheba, big up, all right? All right, so guys, big up all the whole self. We're going to come back tomorrow, God's willing, with another program for you, all right? Let's go in 5, 4, Casilda, big up, and Rita. 3, 2, Spice Babes. What? Vintris. I hope I pronounced that right? Alright, later guys, later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those of you viewing on WPG10, thank you for viewing as well. God bless you. We're going to touch base tomorrow.